ever get that feeling like something or someone is watching you? It's human instinct, built from various evolutionary mechanisms. This first began to adapt to prove primal human whilst living in forest or other areas with a high volume of predators. Being able to sense that hunter, aside from using vision, sight, or smell, become important over the years. I personally don't believe in the five senses. I believe it's a childish way of looking and explaining something otherwise so complex. I believe that we have many more, including perceptive sense of being hunted or being watched. Now that we are generally far more domesticated as a species, this ability no longer has quite the same useful application in detecting predators. If you're given a situation where we are stranded in the woods, dangerous woods, for example, we still do it in the US. We still have it in us. But this sense now generally applies to other things on an average, day-to-day basis for us. Perhaps, for example, if another human, is hunting you, stalking you, or is watching you, that can happen, and it does happen plenty all around our dangerous, sometimes demented world every day. However, perhaps more commonly, whether we know it or not, we also have a sense for feeling other presence that our naked eye cannot detect. And this has also been the case in older, more primal civilizations where shaman existed. To give one example, this ability or sense has also evolved over the years, and whether people want to admit it or not, it's irrelevant. It's just how things work. For example, many of us no longer need rituals to stimulate these sensory perceptions. We simply feel it, and many people feel it all the time. These senses also seem to be stronger in the next upcoming generations on average. The younger you are, as you read this, the better these senses likely are for you. If even just a little, many people also shut these feelings out, depending on the mindsets and personality traits. If you are above average in the traits of sensitivity, empathy, or highly observant, these chances are you can better tune in to these senses. You have a large advantage, and what do we call that? That thing watching you as you sleep, staring at you, or on your computer, as you eat your dinner alone, as you watch your TV late at night. It presents, even if momentarily felt, it's felt for a reason. It's never purely imaginary, quite telling yourself that. We have these senses for a reason. That evolutionary trait is working as intended if you feel the sense run down your spine, through your body. Your body understands that you're not alone. Your mind is giving you an option in what to do with that information. When we turn the lights out, this sense becomes stronger, just as with all other senses do. It's not make-believe. For example, the very primal common fear of something standing over your bed as you sleep does not stem nothing. It's based on many generations of human feelings senses occur while it's in bed. It's not a coincidence. Try and put it all together. Have some wits about you. Have some wits about it. That is a very good probability that there is something else with you right now, looking at you, or at least sharing common space with you. I'm just saying this is in statistical sense. We all know that this sense goes off quite often. Perhaps depending on how busy our day, who else is with us, where we are, how we feel about things of nature. Many factors to do it all, really. But at the end of the day, anyone can tune into it some degree. If you're alone right now, there's a much higher probability that this sense will trigger for you, just because your mindset and because you're how we are when we're isolated. We're so different, aren't we? It is then up to your mind how to process that sensory input. You can choose these things to be as you want them to be. Dependent on who you are, your mind may slip. And that is where it will begin to see problems. The things watching us become dark and hostile in our minds. The bodies become misshapen and deformed. The intentions become disgusting. We are watched with malice now, through a spiraling, mocking, hateful gaze. They now emerge from the darkest, most satanic bowls of our minds. And we all undoubtedly have some real estate. The entities watching us, whatever they may be, become one thing, our greatest fear. Let them become that. The weak, let them become that. Don't be weak.